Hello, you lovely lot. So, where's my camera? There, hello. So, I was thinking the other day, and I thought, why not start my channel again? So, I thought, what better way to start it than how to elasticate a top kit, brand new, with the addition of a bung puller, if you can see that. So, first things first, obviously, you can get your pole. We don't need that for a moment. Right, we're going to grab the elastic. This is the Preston Duraslip size 17s elastic. This is pre-lubricated and it's absolutely fantastic stuff. I've got this in my top kit and you can't go wrong with it. Honestly, put it in loose enough, it's like a size 10, but put it in right and oh my god, it is amazing. You get, I think, 3 meters of this, am I right? 3 meters, yeah, 3 meter, if you can see that. 2.4 millimeters in diameter, that can help quite a lot. And what we're going to do now is attach a Dacron. There's many ways of attaching your rig to your elastic, but I like to use Dacrons. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to thread on my Dacron, just like so. There's a little loop on there. Just thread it through and we're going to do a double overhand knot. I'm doing this blind because my camera's in the way, but it doesn't matter. So there's one knot. And then just another one there. Now the beauty of this is you don't need to wet your knots before you pull it. Because this stuff, obviously it's pre-lubricated. So that's like your saliva anyway. And now what we're going to do is another knot on this side. This is where it's going to be a real pain in the bum now, because now I've got to go all the way to the other end. There we go. And go through once, pull it all the way through again, just like so, and then back down to the other end, wherever it is, over here. And we're just going to thread that again. Now that will be our double overhand knot completed. So as you can see there, that's the second knot complete. And all we're going to do is just push that knot right tight up to the first one, if you can see that. So we're going to fold that up as much as we can, as close as we can get it. There we go, that's not too bad. And then we're just going to grab the knot of the Dacron and pull that over the knots. Now, what I like to do, these are the Matrix super small Dacrons. These things are absolutely fantastic. Now, what I'm going to do is just get the knot in between my teeth and pull the bead down a bit. That's how I like to have my Dacrons. Don't ask why, it's just personal preference, and oh my god, it is amazing. Now, just quickly, I'm just going to adjust that ever so slightly, because that was too high as it was. There you go, you can see that 50 times clearer now. And I can see what I'm doing as well. So now, there's your Dacron completed. Now, you're going to go all the way down to the bottom end. This is the business end. Really, I could take this elastic back. You don't want kinks, but it doesn't matter. I'll be nice to Dolphin. Sorry, Dolphin. Love you. You're very nice people. And all we're going to do is just thread it through the top of the pole and thread it down. The other amazing bit about this elastic is if the inside of your pole's wet, it doesn't really make too much difference. It'll still go through nicely some days. Some days it's not very nice to you though, like today. So what we're going to do is just give it a tap until that goes through. Get a bit more. Tap again. Normally it's this bit where you'll struggle. The number 2, sorry, that's the relatively easy bit. It's not too bad. Sometimes you can get away with just getting your elastic at the top and twisting it, but today that's not going to work. And then same again, just straight through. Now you can tell that's going straight to the bottom. That's nearly at the bottom now. There we go, that's through. So all we're going to do is go straight down to the bottom, pull all that through, just so that the Dacron sits nice and tight to the top. Don't worry, I'll sort that tag end out in a minute. We don't want that. And now you've got all this elastic. So what we're going to do now is ignore that number 1. We don't need that for the time being. We're going to get the number 2. You can get them with a side puller, and I'll explain why some poles have side pullers. But this one, for instance, doesn't. So we're going to take out that bung puller. That's nice and easy. Just sometimes it'll come out with your fingers. Sometimes you've got to use your teeth like I just have. And all we're going to do is just plop that over there for a moment. Same again. End of your elastic. And just straight through. See how I said? Normally it's the number 1 that's an issue. And it'll fly through your number 2. Sometimes that's the case, but sometimes they're both going to be horrible to you, so you just got to sort of make it work. That time that's gone through really nicely. So now that's all threaded through. Now this way it gets difficult, because now I've got to put my pole behind me. Got all that elastic now, so what we're going to do is get your puller and you're just going to thread that through. Right, always go through the top down to the bottom. I've seen people make the mistake of going from the bottom to the top. It doesn't work, because what you've got to think about is your puller goes into your pole. You want to be pulling out the bottom, not the top. So that's through there now, and all we're going to do is just insert that back into the pole, keeping the elastic tight. Just insert that back in, and now that'll sit lovely inside that pole. Now, this is where a lot of people get lost. I'm going to get my puller beads, and I'm also going to get my baiting needle, wherever it's disappeared to. Is it behind here? Yes, it is. Now, the beauty of these things is it's got a little latch there, if you can see that. So, what you're going to do now is obviously get your puller bead. These are the Preston ones. Absolutely amazing things. And what you're going to do is you're going to thread fat to thin. So as you can see there, I've gone through the fat end to the thin end. I'm going to pull that through. Right. And you go to the end of your elastic. Put it through that little loop at the end. If you can see that. Just pull it over there. That's the only downside about pre-lubricated elastic. It's a pain in the bum to get a grip on it. And then that latch now, you can fold that over, slide on your bead, and just flick it on. You don't need your baiting needle anymore, sorry. Brain stopped working then. And all we're going to do now is just pull that bead along. The beauty of these beads is, see how it grips onto the elastic? It's quite hard to get to actually move. So what we're going to do is we're going to set that just so it retracts itself. You don't want it going in. You don't want it pinging back in stupidly fast. You just want it so it retracts itself. Because if you've got it too slack, as soon as the fish pulls that out, it's not going to do anything. So all you're going to do is just keep playing around with it until it retracts itself. That's a little bit too slack now. So we're going to pull a bit more out. And a little bit more. And now that is perfect. Just take a bit more, actually. Mint. That is absolutely perfect. That's how you want it. So now we'll take a few more inches, because what we're going to do is just tie a figure of 8 loop knot in there. I'll make a playlist on how to tie the knots. Just pull that little loop through. Pull that nice and tight. Got me little clippy thingies. Where are they? Over there. So is everything else. It's a right mess up there. And what we're going to do now, this is where a lot of people have controversy. I used to have mine like this. What you can do is either snip your elastic like that, so you've got just 3 prongs like that. That can work really well. But in this instance, what I'm going to do is just trim that nice and close to the tag end, and just get that lovely little loop. Now, there's my excess elastic. Goodbye. And with that bead, now that we've got the thick end there, what we can do now is just pull it over that knot. Now look at how nicely that sits. It retracts itself. Absolutely fantastic. Really nice, really simple. And yeah, so back to the side pullers. Now, typically, your side puller will be roughly around there. That's where mine would be, because you want it to go, ideally, from the end of your pole should be the end of your elbow, so you can hold it like that. So it'd probably be about there with me. Because if I've got mine there, I can hold it nice and sturdy with my elbow on the end and pull it through. Now, the difference between a side puller and a bung puller is a bung puller. If I try and put my number 3 in there, obviously the loop has to go in first and it can be all fiddly. But your side puller, obviously nothing ever goes over the top of that. You can just pull it out the side. I'll do a demonstration with that when I get my other top kit back. I've just sent that off to get it fitted. So when I've got that back, I'll give you a demonstration. And just let me know in the comments what you want to see next. I'll happily do it. Either Saturday or Sunday, there will be a video of me fishing. I might do one on both days. I'm not too sure yet. But I'll cover as much as I can. So I'll probably cover corn fishing, pellets, maggots, all sorts. Whatever I can sort, really. I don't do much pace fishing. That's one thing I will say. But I'll also go over ground bait wetting and things like that. Because that can be crucial to win your matches. And another thing I'm going to do before I go as well is that tag end there. Completely forgot about this. We're just going to trim that as close to that knot as we can get it. So just snip there, and there we go. That is mint now. So goodbye, people. I shall see you in the next video. Goodbye.